Ryan Papenhuyzen is back, baby. Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show. Another car video just for you. So much time, not enough time to get all this stuff out, so we're going to do it right here, right now for you. But it's great to see a rugby league story like this. We need some positivity for the rugby league as we go into the finals. Yes, it's in this, the Queensland Cup for the Sunshine Coast Falcons, so it'll be interesting to see how Ryan Papen goes. I think he'll take 2 or 3 weeks in that competition, and then he'll come onto the bench. And if he's ready enough, maybe they'll put him fullback for the last game of the proper season, so he gets a whole game at fullback, or he just continue to stay as a superstar bench player. That's going to be the question for Storm. But the Storm fans really need some X factor, and he is the X factor that can take them to their next level. Because he's just as good as Nico Hines, and I tell you what, Papenhuyzen could be the difference between the Storm being title contenders or pretenders. If he's back to his best, they have a chance to make the final. But without him, I don't think so. So he is a big play for you Storm fans out there. Well, obviously I've got to talk about the Storm. Is it a Storm in the teacup, or is it absolutely ludicrous what the Melbourne Storm did last week with the premierships carrying them out onto the field? Or was it a bit of up yours to the NRL? That's one way to look at it. To me, it was disgraceful. Absolutely, to me, disgraceful. I understand the players, but you've got a guy who is in the media, coach of Queensland, Billy Slater, taking the trophy out there, carrying it out there. He should know better than that. Why was it happening? What's it doing? You can argue with me in the comments. I don't mind. I think it's absolutely ludicrous. They lost that thing. And also I want to talk about here, Phil Gould was talking on 100% Footy that he knows more about what happened with these with the money and the boats, the Greg Inglis and all these other players got houses and whatever. That there's more in the closet that has not been told. Well, come out and say it, buddy. Come on, sell it to a book. You're getting millions of dollars. He says he's going to hold it to his grave. Well, if you're going to, that's the way Gus Gould goes. He comes up with everything. Oh, and obviously on Gus Gould, Latrell Mitchell can't get it done. He needs to win a comp for the Roosters to become an absolute champion of the game. He doesn't do it in the big games. Well, I actually have to agree. Latrell Mitchell went missing in the preliminary final last year. He was playing beautiful rugby league until that preliminary final, and that game he went missing. Yes, he's a star player. Yes, he does it. But at the end of the season, when it really matters, they are there and thereabouts all the time. Don't get me wrong. He obviously still needs help as well. But Latrell Mitchell hasn't been able to get the team over the line and win the premiership at the Rabbitohs. Now, that's to be fair to Latrell Mitchell, when Greg Inglis won their one, they probably had a stronger team. So to say that Latrell Mitchell is not a big game player is probably a little bit of understatement. But this is Gus Gould. He knows how to get the media ball rolling. But yes, he does need to deliver for, and that's why I put them in. I put them in this fourth team that can win the comp. If Latrell Mitchell fires, he needs to fire in every game, not just him, Cody Walker as well. The forward pack, that's the thing with the forward pack, need to deliver for the Rabbitohs, and they got to tighten up their defense. But if they do that, there is a chance that they could be one of the teams to look out for. Now, an interesting signing, Jack Cogger goes back to the Knights. Well, he's no better than Jake Clifford that they had a couple of years ago, and I don't think Jack Cogger is going to be the answer at number 7, so I'm not sure about that selection there. Where's he going to play in the team? With Jackson Hastings there, is he going to play 6? It just mind boggles a bit for me for signing him. He's not an out-and-out player. They already had Jake Clifford in the system, and I think it's a better player than him. But they just didn't seem to get the combination of 7 and 6 right at the Knights at the time. So an interesting signing there for you Knights fans, but I don't see how he improves your team. Cameron McInnes, bravo mate, bravo. 78 tackles, unbelievable. But you're not going to get an Origin. He probably deserves to get an Origin, but it's not to be for Cameron McInnes, just not quite getting it done. Well, that's enough about that. Let's get to the footy on the weekend. Yes, Roosters versus the Seagulls here on Thursday. It's a must-win for both teams. Eagles technically could lose the game and still have a hope, but it's a must-win for the Roosters. Otherwise, their season is done, although I question mark it already is done for both these teams, but it's a must-win for their seasons because there is one game later on that should be an absolute toweling. I think you're going to see some interesting results this weekend between these two teams. Well, on paper you would say the Roosters, but I'm going to go the Eagles here by 6 points. Daly Cherren's got us 300. Whether they relax, that's another question. But if they're hungry enough to make the finals, they'll get it done. This is an interesting game, really. It could be a blowout either way too, as well. But Eagles don't travel away that well off late, so there's going to be a question mark on that as well. It really was a tough decision on that one, but I'm going for the Eagles. Just that's the way. Titans Warriors. This is obviously a big danger game here for the Warriors, and the Titans are completely fighting for their season. Absolutely upset the Cowboys with outstanding attacking footy, but the Warriors could be the big defense here. Absolutely take them out of the game by defense. If they can do what they do best, the Warriors, and defend, and the Titans get frustrated in the attack, the Warriors could blow them away in the second half. The Warriors game against the Raiders, they nearly blew a lead. They were controlling the whole game and nearly lost it. I think that is probably could be a defining part of their season that they still was able to win that game with Sean Johnson. I'm expecting the Warriors to come out and go boom. Yeah, this is going to be a big game though. Titans are still in the hunt for the finals. Titans are in the must-win category. If they lose, they're going to make it hard for themselves to make it. But to me, the Warriors get it done here, and I'm going to say by 13. I think the Warriors are the real deal in 2023, and this is another chance to prove they are the real deal for 2023. Panthers versus the Storm, the game of the round, yes. Well, Panthers are flying high and clearly premiership favourites. I don't think they're as strong as they have been, but the big thing with the Panthers all season long has been their defense. They continue to be the best defense in the comp. Their attack's been a bit laggy, but obviously you've had Nathan Cleary out. I think they're going to towel up the Storm here. I really do. I'm not convinced in the Storm. I'm very, very much... They need Papenhuyzen for mine. They seem to go in and out of games too much, the Storm, for me. They have the calibre with Cameron Munster and Harry Grant and Jerome Hughes there, but their forward pack's just not up to mustard in this day and age, and Panthers should blow them away. And I'm going to go to Panthers by 18 in this one. The Storm can make a statement in this game, clearly, but for me, I don't see them doing it. Cowboys and the Broncos. What a game this is going to be on Saturday Night Football. In North Queensland, the Cowboys have to bounce back after a shock loss. Cowboys' season could be derailed here. This is a game... Earlier, I was going to pick the Cowboys to win this game, but after last week, I know they can bounce back. Maybe their season has hit the stall mark and it might be all over. The Broncos continue to prove every week that they are a competition. If they can get this game done and dusted, the Broncos is clearly looking close to a grand final team. Big game for the Broncos. Big game for the Cowboys as well to keep their top 8 alive. But I think the Broncos will get this done by 12. It's quite a lot of good games this week. Dolphins and Knights. This is a game that's absolutely... Knights are probably a team they could lose and still make the finals. It'd be harder, but it's a possibility for them. But the Dolphins absolutely have to win. They absolutely choked against the Bulldogs last week. Can they turn it around? You never know, because the Knights can put in a bad game, but the Knights on current form should get it done. So I'm going to have to go on current form, but we know what happens in rugby league. Dolphins could just bounce back and win this game. But the Knights here by 12 points for me, the Knights. Rabbitohs versus the Sharks. Well, Latrell Mitchell was obviously going to get up for this game for Phil Gould. There's a big game here. The Sharkies are absolutely on the ropes here. The Rabbitohs can absolutely put this team to the sword here and win by 30. I'm going to pick the Rabbitohs by 30. I think the Sharks are gone. Absolutely gone on the rubbers. Forget them. They are absolutely out of the hunt for the top 8. There's a chance all they got to do is win this week and they're back in it. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't know if they can get it done against the Rabbitohs, who I think are ready to hit some big form. Eels and the Dragons. This should be Eels by how much? Eels are... They have to win this game. They got some tough games coming up. This is must win. They should win by 30 plus for me. The Eels, they should absolutely blow them away. Dylan Brown's back. Gufferson, Moses, they should be ready to rock and roll. And Dragons should be no hope in this game. And Raiders and the West Tigers, well, I can only say this. Raiders, they win by 50. I don't think they'll win by 50, but they should win by 50. The Tigers are absolute gone. Their season is gone. They are the wooden spoon for this season. The Raiders need to put them to the sword, but we know defensively they can fall asleep. But the Raiders are definitely a chance in this game. Thank you for joining me here at the Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with another video shortly. Enjoy your rugby league this weekend.